Belonging makes brains grow. Different ages have different needs. Homework isn't inherently bad, but in the early years, its value is often overstated. Family rituals, unstructured play, and reading for joy grows the skills homework can't touch and build a sharper academic edge than workbooks ever could. Almost done. So when your child's backpack feels lighter, don't panic. Less homework doesn't mean less learning. It means more room for the kind learning that lasts. Instead of forcing another worksheet, try reading stories that take them somewhere new. Talking at dinner like it's family fuel. Protecting play as their brain's secret classroom. Guarding sleep as their nightly reset button. What looks routine today is what makes kids unstoppable tomorrow. Society says more homework equals smarter kids. Neuroscience says the opposite. Smarts don't grow in silence over math drills. They grow in late night stories, messy games, and unhurried dinner.
No.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Truth Disorder, guys. My name's Ernest.
Were you raised in a barn?
I'm David, and I've had a lot of coffee today, or the past hour. So it's going to be energetic.
I'm Gary. I have not had as much coffee today.
I had a coffee flight at like a local coffee bar by the Rim.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they've got cold brew, and they've got five different types. One of them was like an old-fashioned cold brew. I poured them all into here.
Oh, okay.
So it's now concentrated cold brew in here.
How is it?
It's not bad.
Feeling pretty froggy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This would be like a triple.
Can you pop that top and let me try a little sippy dippy?
You're not gonna like it.
Really? I mean, I'm half Colombian,
Well, it's
so
not
it's
sweet.
kind of retarded to say.
It's probably going to taste dark. Like super. Let me just put some boogers in it for you later. Gary knows hairs.
Oh, that's okay. I appreciate that.
First impressions.
Letting it rest on your tongue. I get it.
It sounded like a bong grip in the headphones.
Interesting.
Tony's back there going, yeah.
It's got a.
It has like a splash of milk in it too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
just like a splash.
it's still. It
Is it
has.
almond milk?
It has like.
No, regular.
Because Gary's lactose intolerant.
It's fine. It's worth it. I love cheese, so it's.
Oh.
It's got this
So am I.
robust
Don't worry.
whiskey barrel.
Yeah.
Taste
So
to
I think
it.
they roast it and then they let it sit in a whiskey barrel as it brews.
So there's a company called Doma. I think it's this time of every fall. I haven't gotten them recently just because we've been getting coffees out. We don't brew it at home anymore as much as we used to. But Doma makes a coffee roast. They're based out of Idaho. They make a roast that's whiskey barrel aged.
Yeah,
So basically, they roast it in aged whiskey barrels.
Yeah.
And you can literally as you're drinking it, you're like, dude, you could
Taste the flavors,
The
yeah.
flavors. It's super good.
I don't know if you were here the last 5 minutes, but you literally just described what happened there.
Well, exactly. I'm just saying, hey, you can get the roast. You could buy the roast for. And that brings us to our next segment.
I'm
Let me tell
Gary.
you. Dude, I'm gonna be Gary this week. Dude, where did I go? You guys are just something else today. I'm gonna go out of the room.
Are you pretend crashing out right now? Come on, man. Come on.
Let's see the
Who
crash
came up
out.
with
Gary.
the name or the term crash out?
It's probably some kid, dude. Who
Crash
knows
Bandicoot.
You know
anything
what's another
anymore?
thing? Okay, look, I'm gonna go on a tangent here. So Brooke was coaching, I think U9 soccer. I think that's what her team is. And for like an hour and a half yesterday, all they did was 6'7", 6'7". I'm like, what the fuck does this actually mean, bro? What is it? So I Googled it, and that's how I know I'm old. Because I feel like I'm in touch with the internet, especially with like live streaming and all that throughout my 20s. I'm in touch. Okay, I read Reddit. Okay, I get it. But 6'7", it literally, like, you know how Google has the AI response.
Yeah.
It was like, it said brain rot.
It means
It's
nothing.
just TikTok. It literally means nothing.
Yeah.
So when they're saying that, I'm like, okay, so what kind of context is this actually in? There's no fucking context.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna at a random point here. I'm gonna 6'7".
Well, I mean, isn't it kind of like most things nowadays that like in term like slang that we used to use. It was like rad. That's
No, because
sick.
that actually had context to
Well,
it. It
I'm
actually,
just saying, like, the stuff nowadays doesn't make sense. It's like they say slay, and I don't even know if that's even a thing.
slay means like, okay, like you're like killing it, right? Like, ooh, slay, like you're killing it, like you like. It's normally
David's too good at that naturally, and it worries me.
Yeah.
like Riz. Riz is short for charisma. Like there's a lot of slang out
I did
there.
not know it was short for charisma.
Did you actually not?
I did not.
Okay, well then,
That's crazy.
yeah,
That's wild.
Whoa.
I don't know if you're gaslighting me or
No, I
not.
promise you, I'm not.
I didn't know
Not
that
this
either,
time.
so I'm in like.
See, I've told you I'm hip with the slang. Okay, and I'm
He
hip
is.
with it.
Dude, you're.
I think David knows his audience.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way. David.
I'm just saying, man. What the fuck is 6'7" supposed to even mean?
Gary and my like our reels and our shorts, like when we clip them, like we get all like our generation.
Yeah.
Kind of, David's like
Oh, bro, I get the fucking
you get like the
dumbest
20-year-olds,
shit.
22.
I swear to God, there's a kid out there right now on TikTok blowing up. I just saw that he's making like $20,000 a month right now, rating his fucking middle school lunches.
Like
He's put
showing
out-
up.
He's put out like I think 15 videos, and his average views are in the like 4 to 7 million.
Is he like in high school now, or?
No, he's in middle school. He's just like, hey, this is blah blah blah. Today we have for lunch is General Tso's chicken, and he's like, it's okay, but it's like the shitty school like government funded lunches.
Imagine
And
making
people are like,
money
oh,
like
yo,
that.
my
That's
school's
crazy.
on, like,
Good
or
for
my,
him.
my show's on, or like my husband's saying, what are you watching over there? I'm like, oh, I'm watching this 8-year-old, talk shit about his school lunches.
That sounds real
I'm like,
6'7".
that's awesome.
That sounds real 6'7" if you
fucking
ask me.
hero. That's that
Yeah.
Riz.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? But I mean, hey,
I hate
speaking of lunches,
I hate this.
like, did you have Pizza Hut at your school? Like, did you have Pizza
I did.
Hut?
No,
Like,
I had Papa John's.
we had Pizza Hut and Chick-fil-A.
What?
Where the fuck did y'all go to school?
Where'd y'all go
Here.
to school?
I went to Warren High School.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh?
Where's Warren?
over by 150 by SeaWorld.
Bro, you don't know
151
what-
and
yeah.
Westover Hills.
In the cut?
In the cut. It's
I
like
had-
behind SeaWorld. I was over here in the Northeast.
He went to Mac.
I went to Mech.
That's
Y'all
crazy.
had, like actual lunches like that?
Yeah, bro.
Actual Papa John. So, because I
Yeah,
whenever-
they had Papa John's. We had Pizza Hut. They had the little, like, you can go buy them at Pizza
Personal
Hut.
pan
little Personal
pizza?
pan pizzas.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It was
It
it
looked-
was slices.
Yeah.
It was slices for us, and I think they at the time they were probably like $2.50 a slice. So when you went to when you were going in line, you could either have like the school mandated lunches, or it was like an a la carte whatever you wanted. So you could get like a slice of pizza, French fries, and
We had a thing called
What?
the Cluck Deluxe. It was the chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A.
That's crazy.
No, for real. Like, we had Chick-fil-A sandwiches. We had everything, dude. It was legit. Now, we got these government-funded lunches, giving our kids all these food dyes,
yeah.
all this bad stuff.
But there was a lot more restaurants doing that. I think even in elementary school for us.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I actually used to deliver pizza when I was like 19.
And that's what he used to play.
And the early morning shift was like 15 to 20 pizzas to the high schools.
That's crazy.
But this wasn't even just here in San Antonio. This
And
was
they would
in
just keep
Houston.
them warm all day?
Yeah.
Gross.
I remember passing my speech.
And they would tip too, by the way. They would tip a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But
That's pretty cool.
is it?
Was it the teachers
Because
or the
it's-
students?
Well, it was the lunch ladies.
These lunch ladies.
So it was ordered through the school.
Okay. So
which meant your government, your dollars were going to my tip.
Ah.
That's pretty dope, though.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty dope.
that goes back into the
Yeah.
economy.
To the economy, fair, fair.
And the receiving end.
I remember passing speech class one year because we had a how-to speech that we had to do, and I did how to order pizza. And I literally ordered like 10 pizzas for the class, had them delivered to the school, and then the principal like cock-blocked it. I was like, no. And they ended up selling slices in the concourse.
What
of
year
the
did you
pizza.
do that?
That was like 2000
No, what was senior year?
senior year.
Senior year, I had a speech, and my final speech was how to give a speech. It was a how-to as well.
And you're graded on it. It's wild.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. They were like, oh, how to do this, how to do that.
How to tie your shoe,
Yeah, I was like-
how to make an airplane. I'm gonna.
Yeah, mine was how to give an effective speech.
And you got a 90.
I got an A-.
Dang, it's like I knew, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So wait, we have the world.
This is an interesting segue, by the way, because
Yeah.
actually the first thing I wanted to talk about,
No, go shoot.
and you know this isn't a Truth Disorder podcast if I'm not interrupting you. So, Maxwell Publishing is owned by Robert Maxwell.
Yeah,
That's a
Ghislaine
thing?
Maxwell's dad.
So the deceased, most infamous spy in Mossad history, Robert, is also the father of Ghislaine Maxwell.
And Maxwell Publication is actually one of the biggest publications that pushes educational material in schools.
So you mean to tell me that Maxwell Publishing, founded by Robert Maxwell, and its subsidiaries own and publish every school book in the United States? So the version of history you were taught and raised to believe is a pro-something narrative. They have successfully erased and rewritten history in their favor. They own all the books. It's not your fault. You've been lied to. But it's your fault if you keep believing it.
So
So interesting segue from pizza to let's get hot and heavy into truth disorder topics. I had no idea that Maxwell was owned by...
does Maxwell
lineage.
Publication actually own, what's the other one, the Scholastic? I forget the name of the company.
I saw something a little bit about that.
Like they're intertwined somehow, like Scholastic is publishing or whatever is a subsidiary of Maxwell.
I think it's a subsidiary.
And don't count me.
I think that's...
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Well,
verify.
allegedly.
Trust but verify, like with anything else.
So, I mean...
We should change our name to Truth but Verify Disorder.
Truth. Verified truth disorder. I mean, that would make sense. Like, you talk about indoctrination in schools and education. Like,
You got through that word very well.
did I really? Indoctrination? Indoctrinated? You're indoctrinated?
Sorry.
Oh,
Bro, it wouldn't be Wednesday unless we were fucking making fun of each other.
okay. You know what?
I swear to God.
I'm just gonna say, every real estate agent. Do you meet your clients for coffee? Like, have you ever met your clients for coffee?
I have actually.
Have you ever had a client call you and go, "Hey, David, let's meet for coffee at 9:00," and then the client call and go, "Hey, let's meet for coffee at 1:00," and you're like,
Oh shit.
"Oh, sure."
Dude, bro, one of my first $1 million buyers, I had coffee that morning, went to the showing, and he was like, you know what? Like, let's sit down and actually really hone in what I think we're looking for. Is there a coffee shop nearby? And this was like Lavernia. So I was like, yeah, absolutely. I know a really good like local place owned by veterans. Let's go that way. And we did, and I got a coffee. I was cracked out of my mind.
yeah.
Dude, and you know, explaining buyer's representation when you're cracked out of your mind is kind
For
of
anything.
You're like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut
It's
up.
almost
shut
as
up,
bad
shut
as
up.
alcohol.
And I told him at the end of there, I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is my third coffee of the day, and I am really wired. So I'm sorry if I'm speaking a lot. And he was like, no, you're good. Let's go. Like, we can go tomorrow and see more stuff. I was like, thank God I didn't ruin that.
So you had to take the rest of the day off because you had too much caffeine?
No, we had already seen like 4 houses.
Oh, okay.
But these were like big ranches.
I mean, if I'm
ranches, so-
cracked out, I'm like, let's ride this high, baby.
Oh, dude, I was trying.
Yeah, I would have been ready.
Yeah, I got the sign right there though.
Like maybe you need 2 more coffees, sir.
Probably.
Yeah.
You need to be on my level.
Yeah, a little bitch.
Like, come on. Like, let me buy you another coffee.
What'd you say? What?
you
No,
little
what?
bitch.
What do you mean? I didn't say anything, little bitch.
So Maxwell Publications, Ghislaine Maxwell's dad, Robert Maxwell.
Ghislaine.
Ghislaine.
Yeah.
I always butcher that
That's
name.
what I'm here for.
Ghislaine.
Yes.
Ghislaine
Yeah.
Maxwell.
Yeah.
So, elaborate.
I said what I needed to say on it. Like,
Oh, I thought you had,
enough.
like, a
I
whole
don't
talking
know
point.
how much further. How much further we need to get into
Gary, you need coffee, Gary.
Ah, shoot.
You
Well,
need some
I was
more
actually
coffee.
kind of thinking about it because, like, they're owned. Subsidiaries are like they own both sides, regardless, right? You can get to some sort of point. Who's ever in charge of something wants to run both sides. So I'd be really interested to know what kind of agenda is being pushed. I know when we first met, you were talking about like the public school system and on how they're pushing some sort of agendas, and you want to be involved in what your kids are learning. This and that,
so
right.
I don't know if our origin story as friends, we spent a lot of time, actually one day a week, we would go rucking in the morning. We were introduced that way. So we spent an hour a morning on a Thursday just talking about a bunch of random shit, getting to know each other. And so I come way out of right field.
Oh, dude, it was crazy.
Right.
I thought this
And-
guy was insane.
Yeah, I thought it was insane.
He's like, oh, you got to take these fucking pills like methylene blue, and this, you got to do this. And I'm like, holy fuck, this guy is crazy. as
Yeah, have
shit.
you guys heard of Pix, by the way? Because
Yeah.
it's super crazy place that I hear is super neat on Thursdays.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. So we're talking about all that. And he's kind of, he's quiet. He's listening. But he's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out in these conversations, and like just like with most folks that kind of pay attention, I don't seem as crazy once you kind of dig into what's really going on in this world. So, not to soapbox that I'm not actually insane, but at the end of the day, you just open your eyes, man. For those that have eyes, look, use them.
Yeah. Well, I think that was your big part of like wanting to be not inside San Antonio and a little bit like in a more rural town.
For sure.
Because you start to instill in your kids, you start to instill those like homey qualities.
Yeah, I don't want them-
I love that. I hate the qualities that we are raising in our kids nowadays, where it's centric on like technology, not going out and riding your bikes.
If my
not
kid
being
comes home
neighborly,
and says
it's just-
fucking 6'7" one time,
bro,
they're going to be
I'm supposed
orphans.
to say that.
They're going to be orphans. I will put them up for adoption.
6'7".
Like I don't know.
There's gonna be a clip of me
Crazy.
saying he's making fun of.
Well, I mean, but that's one of the first things that
Yeah.
Gary was talking about was the indoctrination of kids in schools, and dude, I totally see it now. I can see how our generation, who are now teachers.
Yeah, it's not just our kids. It's
Well, I
us.
was gonna say because our generation are now teachers, and I'm seeing some of my peers that I grew up with, and I'm like, those people are teaching our kids.
Yeah, lockstep, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, lockstep.
So I was curious about what's actually in our school books nowadays. I would
Shit
really
that-
like to go back and look and see what's actually being taught. Because our history's happening. What's actually in there? Because I never read a history book that had 9/11 in it.
No,
Never did.
You
No. I mean, they weren't publishing books that had 9/11 in it yet.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I graduated in 07, so that was, 6 years after 9/11, and there was no books like that.
True.
So key
But
holdings.
we also sat in school and watched it.
Right. And so that's why I'm curious on what truth is being told. Is it the truth?
Is it even the truth?
Right.
Yeah, it's
because
just-
I remember growing up and I'm looking at, I mean, I know 9/11 is always a touchy subject for us because we went through that.
Most of us had a hate in our heart for Islam.
Right.
because of-
I think that, you know what's also funny? This is the crack coming out of this coffee. What's also really funny is I think that's why a lot of us are very patriotic nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
especially here in Texas, is because we saw that. We saw the country come together. We saw
Yeah.
our parents, and I remember being super scared
for a fake
for my
enemy.
mom. I didn't know if we were going to war. I didn't know if war was coming to us.
I had siblings join the military.
Because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what my brother did.
Yeah.
And so now I'm just very curious is what truth is actually being told in the school books? What are our kids listening to or watching nowadays?
Dude, straight up, if for friends in my circle, okay, it doesn't have to be the whole world, but you can always choose. You can't pick your family, but you can pick your friends, who you call family.
Right.
That's all I want. That's like that is the baseline that I want of my friends in my circle, to just ask questions, not to just sit there and say, oh well, my MSNBC app just gave me this notification. This is the gospel.
Right.
Right. I want people in my circle to see, hear, feel something and think to themselves, all right, let me reanalyze that. Let me cross-reference that. I don't necessarily, I want to take that with a grain of salt. That's what I want for my friends. So to hear you say that, to be in a part of this podcast in a room of gentlemen that, well, so to speak, arguably speaking, that's all I'll say. And to have that and that
Two have
be
kids
to
here,
be
so.
strong qualities for you guys, that is a huge blessing that I feel like in my life to have that in my circle, because
100%.
that's the majority doesn't do that.
Well, and I think the problem too is like
6'7".
6'7". Yeah, my brain went 6'7".
Yeah.
But the problem too with like the educational system and everything happening in and around it right now is like David mentions like what's in those books. Like he'd like to see like what's being presented to the children and like how they're actually being educated. My mind goes back to like the digital saturation of things and how kids are learning from these things versus actual books. And I remember in English very vividly that we were taught like, hey, cite 3 references. Like every paper
Right.
that you wrote,
Yeah.
you cited 3 references. Now, if you were to cite like, we'll just say like, what is it like?
Maybe have an entire research board. That's
Maybe have a
cross-reference all the way through.
that's cross-referenced all the way through.
But if you don't want to hear it, it's not real.
But the references nowadays are probably like, oh, I saw it on TikTok,
Yeah.
or somebody on Instagram, or
Yeah.
Or
You
some
could go to
slanted study.
You could go to ChatGPT right now. That's why I think that paying for ChatGPT super important, especially because you can get the
I pay as
deep
well,
research.
for sure.
Because if you do deep research, it takes a little bit longer to get responses, but deep research will look and filter out through and get as much sources as possible.
That's cool.
Because you can go out and do like for real estate agents. I mean, I can probably say a lot of them do CMAs on ChatGPT now.
Yeah.
But you can go out and see the sources from them if you don't click deep research, and it's like somebody's blog, right? So you can get statistics from somebody's blog. Who's to say that that person is making it up? Blah blah blah, right? So those are our sources now, and it's like these kids are they asking the question, is this real, or are they just believing their teacher? When they go out and Google it or ChatGPT it, how do they verify those sources? They're not. Right, so anything that they hear is likely just real and true to them.
In 2012, I was hanging out with a girl.
Was this before the projected ending of the world, or?
It was around that time.
Okay.
So no, it was 2013. I was hanging out with a gal, and took her out, and she brought her sister, who's a little bit younger, probably 18, 19. And they started teasing each other. And this girl, she was like 24, she takes her sister's phone.
Mm-hmm.
And this girl's always on her phone. The girl legitimately started having like hyperventilation panic attacks.
Oh yeah, I bet you that happened.
That was the first time I've ever encountered that actually being a thing.
like a withdrawal symptom
Yeah.
of technology.
Yeah.
I mean, we all.
Like
I think we all do
grown
it, right?
person. Like I mean, I got mad at my parents for taking away my controllers for my Nintendo 64.
Wait, you had
when I
video
was,
games?
Yeah, when I was.
It's like the kid off of Where the Millers. Wait, you guys are getting paid?
It was
When
after
the fuck did we get ice cream?
Did you guys get ice cream?
But we all have that sort of panic attack now when we misplace our phone.
A little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
Some of us.
It's not. It doesn't. You know, I'm just like, oh well, hey, call me.
Yeah.
You know, if someone takes my phone, yeah.
You see, but where my mind goes to with like the whole digital side of things nowadays is like before you actually had to. I mean, yeah, we had the internet, we had dial-up, like things like that. You can go and search on the internet, but before it was all cited in books. But what really kind of boggles my mind is like I look back at going through the educational system, and I think about like, did I actually cite somebody that was pushing an agenda?
Right. I was just going to say we never questioned that.
We never,
did we?
as a, I mean,
Because you're
as
just
young
trying to get
adult,
through that paper.
right? You're just trying to get your paper done, and
Oh
like,
shit! Thank goodness, someone finally agrees with me.
but you never actually really went and said, oh hey, let me check Laura Loomer's like credentials and make sure she's actually telling the truth on
Right, yeah.
things. But that's where my mind goes nowadays. Is like these kids are so. I don't want to say indoctrinated because it's probably the wrong word.
No, it's a good word.
It's a good
It's the right
word
word.
too, but it also doesn't cover the fact that these kids probably don't know that they're citing non-credible sources and people who might actually have an ultimatum
Right.
behind what they're pushing.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, and I think this is why people had issues with like Charlie Kirk because he was so like.
Well, what was the vote, dude? Our house voted against having Izzy lobby be able to fund our politicians, and I think.
But then we have APAC running wild.
But hold on, only 2 people or something, like a single one hand voted against it. The rest on both sides voted for it. Or I'm sorry, voted against banning that.
Right.
200, 50 something voted against banning it, and the other 2 voted to not allow it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did I say that clearly?
A little bit.
Okay.
I'm a little 6'7", but. 6'7",
Hand me the whiskey coffee. Right.
No, but I get your talk track.
Yeah. So
I know where you're going.
Yeah. So basically, not allowing APAC to pay our politicians. Only 2, 3, maybe 4 people didn't want to allow it. The rest were like, you ain't taking that sweet chunk of change away from me.
But I mean, it, like, kind of going back to like the indoctrination of the kids, like all these people are pro or for a certain thing. Like we as young adults never really questioned like whether or not they had that ultimatum.
Because
Like,
we also had dinner at the table a lot of times.
as young adults, we did, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I remember sitting around the dinner table with at least my mom. My dad
Being
was the
absolutely
bread,
miserable.
like my mom, at least, you know.
Can I get up, please?
But I also remember Sundays were for family, right? We didn't have a bunch of technology in our hands, so Sundays were for hanging out with family and, you know, doing church, going to church, having lunch after church, going to one of the cousins' houses after that, and just hanging out the rest of the day, watching football and throwing a football, right? Like,
And what happens now is most kids are spending most time with their teachers, getting home, going straight to their room and sitting on their phones, maybe coming down to get a snack and going back to their corners.
well, and the other thing we didn't really have to worry about it growing up through our generation was the fact that our teachers were not as heavily involved in politics back in the day as I would like to say. Like, I don't ever
Not
remember,
as it is now.
like not as it is now, because it's so front and center. Like you open your Facebook and your feed, top of your feed is Donald Trump doesn't want, you know, unisex bathrooms, right? Like that's the first thing you see, right? And it wasn't like that before, right? Like they had to go home and actually have time to watch TV and watch the news. And I guarantee you most of them didn't even turn it on because they were grading papers while eating dinner, right? Like they didn't have that bandwidth. And now with modernization and technology, everything's been so streamlined that teachers do have, and I'm not saying all teachers because I guarantee you they have a ton of a workload, but they also have their phone like we do right now sitting on the table with Spotify opening, listening to a podcast.
And they also feel like it's their duty to push this like liberating Marxist, socialist, communist, you know, way
push
of life.
what they believe.
Yeah.
It's like,
We must
we don't want,
liberate America from this tyrant named Trump.
yeah. It's like we don't want the 10 Commandments in school because it has Christianity beliefs and not everybody believes with Christianity, but I want to wave a flag. I want to put a flag down the front of my chalkboard.
I think that's called a flag. Anyways,
But I'm looking up
about Maxwell. So apparently he owned numerous media assets under the banner of Maxwell Communications Corporation, including Pergamon Press, Prentice Hall, the Berlitz Language Schools, and numerous newspapers and magazines, even the Daily Mirror. They also held interest in cable programming, television stations, compact disc manufacturing, and travel agencies. So all of the above, let's see. And in 1989, Maxwell formed a joint venture with McGraw-Hill. I think that's who you were talking about.
Yeah.
Not Scholastic. So I don't know if
I don't know where I was
Yeah,
gonna
maybe
say.
McGraw-Hill.
I knew
owns
they
that.
had partnered with somebody.
Yeah, so that created the second largest textbook publisher in the U.S. at the time. So our generation specifically learned that version of history.
So yeah. And then I think Maxwell actually sold out to McGraw, like in the early 90s. So McGraw actually owned all publications.
Maxwell sells Pergamon for $768 million. Jeez, dude.
But I mean, that is what it is. It's indoctrination, right? Like, if there is such a high influence of educational content, like who's writing this?
But
Right,
that's
that's-
the crazy part. You like this person's literally directly tied to one of the most insane situations to ever happen in the history of human society.
Involving children. How ironic.
Involving children.
Yeah.
What? It's mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling.
So I guess what kind of implications, or let me frame the question a little bit here. Like, how does this actually, him being the owner of the publication, how does that actually impact the youth, right? Assuming that they are still a massive publication. McGraw still a very big publication. Like I think most schools are actually using Pearsons nowadays.
You're raising indoctrinated, brainwashed zombie slaves.
But his publication, like publishing, who were his publishers? Like who actually wrote his content for his educational material? And that's something that as like an adolescent, like youth, like we never even questioned. Like I didn't open a history book or a geometry book and go, who wrote this? Like I read it and I took it as factual because I was entrusting that whoever gave me this material was actually wanting me to understand and know right from wrong.
I think that's why nowadays generation defends their teachers, defends the agenda that's been pushed, whether it be in the classroom or on the internet, is because they hear it, they believe it to be true. So it doesn't matter. No one's questioning it. This is true.
It's in
the
our
hate that's online. It's true because
it's in our nature to idolize something. Right. And if you don't have that right focus to idolize, for example, Jesus, through the Word of God, nobody's ever put that on you. You might idolize your parents. Now, if you don't have a solid person to idolize as a parent, you might idolize a teacher. You might idolize a religious leader. Now, what happens if that person abuses you in whichever way, shape, or form? Now, you might idolize your friend group. You might make whatever they believe your identity. Right? And so we tend to, with that sense of idolization, there is a sense of trust that comes with that inherent trust that we give to whatever we're idolizing. Like, since I am doing my best to, and arguably to idolize Jesus Christ, I have this sense of peace and this trust in what that offers me. Now imagine putting that amount of sense and trust and identity into a worldly thing, and it lets me down, or worse, it hurts me. Now you're going to take it upon yourself to maybe even just idolize yourself. Make yourself in the image of what you think you should look like versus being realizing that we are all in the image of God. Just my 2 cents.
And it's difficult because I think that a lot of the kids and everything being raised nowadays are, gone are the days that when you lose, you lose. Now it's like you're glorified for losing, and it's okay. And you're beautiful the way you are, and there's no sense of like pushing to achieve something. It's like, oh no, you're gonna get it because you say you can get it.
Yeah, just settle.
And I sympathize to that. Yeah. I believe in gratitudes and affirmations and writing it down and wheeling it into existence. I can totally understand that. If my goal is way too insane, it doesn't mean it's gonna come true. Yeah. Right.
There's a way to pervert everything.
Right. Yeah.
And oddly enough, based on, well, go ahead. Looks like the wheels are turning.
My wheels are turning because I'm thinking, like, we're talking about indoctrination, right? We're talking about like how these kids are being, I don't want to say the G word, but they're being G word to believe what's factual by the sources and material given to them. But also looking at the alternate spectrum of entertainment, right, becoming the indoctrination as well, because people start tuning out. We start having, parental backlash due to moral fatigue. Most recently, Netflix is losing its viewers that were tired of woke content and rising prices, right? Like we're looking at these things.
And you actually got attacked on social media for calling it out.
100%. And what's ironic is, like, I made that post on Sunday, and by Tuesday, Musk was starting to tweet about it, like, hey, cancel Netflix because all these shows. And I know there have been other people. I'm not saying like I'm the procuring reason of that, but it's just oddly enough, like, parents are starting to recognize, because like us adults are going, well, wait a second, who actually is writing all this stuff, right? Let me go and search. You're finding out, like, oh, Maxwell Publications is owned by Robert Maxwell, who's also tied to the biggest.
I don't want my kids seeing same-sex stuff, just like I don't want my kids seeing heterosexual stuff, like passionate kissing and laying on top of each other and groping and kissing on, like, romantic kissing on the neck and all that. It has nothing to do per se with just about being same-sex. I just don't think it's important for kids to be introduced to sexuality. When they have questions, they can come talk to me, and I will be sure to provide them with a safe space to be able to do that.
So let me ask you a question. At what age or what grade did you have sex education?
6th grade.
6th grade. Okay. 6th grade. It's
The
I think it was
girls
fifth
got
for-
it.
fifth
The
for
girls
me.
had it in 5th grade.
I think-
in 5th grade there was a video, but it wasn't like I think it was very scientific. I know that there was it was very to the biological core of what sex is. But
Well-
there was no
But
sort
there
of
wasn't graphic.
agenda.
It wasn't like softcore porn
Correct.
or anything
Correct.
like that.
Now it
was-
is in a lot of places too. That's the problem. It's like, what do you?
But it's even before 5th grade now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember, like what you're saying, seeing and being exposed to the genetic mock-up of what sex is.
Right.
And then in like 6th or 7th grade, I remember taking home ec because I was a jock, and I was like, I'm gonna be in a class with a bunch of girls. Needless to say, they made us take care of like a baby doll for
Right.
for 24
Right.
hours. But yeah, now it's like getting pushed further and further and quicker and quicker.
Yeah, there's a book out there called Gender Queer, where it's about an adult, and it's available in elementary libraries. And it's about an adult who essentially grooms a child around 12, whatever, and grooms them into doing same-sex stuff with them. And it's all animated, and so much so that this book has actually been pulled out by parents and read at city council meetings, and they actually have to mute the parent and kick them off.
You know about the guy?
It's
talking
been
about it?
several people,
Yeah.
and they make them they stop them from reading it because it's too explicit
Right.
to be read in a public forum as
Yeah.
such.
Well, and kind of going back to like what you were saying with me being attacked on this whole Netflix thing, like it's so crazy to think that people would try and smear it as hate for you taking action on something that you feel goes against your morals.
There's so much power in sex, and it's hard enough to handle that power as a maturing adult
100%.
versus giving that amount of power to a dumbass kid. Sorry. We're all kids. Most kids are dumbasses. I was a dumbass kid. Growing out of being a dumbass kid, it's hard to do. But you're going to sit there and tell me you're going to give animated porn to a dumbass kid around 8 years old and then just expect them to be like, oh, I think I'm going to ask the right questions now.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think it comes down to a few things. And so, like, because my wheels
Pardon
are
my French, by the way, but goodness.
Don't worry. We
my
got
wheels are
auto-censor.
turning too, because it's like I don't have a kid, so I don't know. I can't even sympathize with what's going on. Right? I have no say in it.
There you can, because your future kid is going to date one of the kids that's being raised
That's
right
fair.
now.
That's fair. What I can say is that outsider looking in, I think that it comes down to laziness and one parent
One-parent
homes-
households, yeah.
Households, yeah. Because you have a single dad, single mom that's working, 40, 50, whatever, however many hours a week, and they take their kid to school, they come home, and now they have to continue raising their kid. They're tired. It's laziness. They go to bed. It is what it is. They
Now
don't want a
imagine
kid-
being raised by a single mom that 70%, I think it was a number, 70% of liberal single women identified with a mental health disorder.
I have no idea.
yeah.
That's
I don't
that was
know.
actually a study. More than half of liberal women claim to have a mental disorder, and I don't think they know what they're actually saying when they say that. They're so keen to wanting to victimize themselves and bring everybody down to them and make everybody feel bad for them. They don't realize what they're actually admitting. It's more important their image of being a victim than it is actually maintaining the integrity of their vote.
Yeah.
Sorry, finish what you're saying.
No,
But,
it's fine.
but just to co-sign what you're saying,
Yeah.
1000% agree.
And I also
then
agree-
they're raising kids.
I also agree that we are living in a day and age where everybody's a victim.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. I put a video on Facebook a few weeks ago about the victim mentality that I feel like literally everybody has, and whether or not it's a serious problem or just some why me sort of feeling. I mean, we're going up in a day and age where mental health is just a normal thing. It's a normal conversation. We watched a video earlier, Brooke and I, where this woman was losing her fucking mind, and she was talking to a cop. Like, why would you do that? My daughter has mental health issues. Everybody's got fucking mental health issues. Okay, it's fine. It is what it is. Grow up. Honestly, it sucks to hear. Just grow up. Stop living. Don't live your life in this victim mentality to where it's like you are owed something every day of the week. You're not owed anything. You're not even owed tomorrow's first breath of fresh air. You are not owed that. So live your life to where you can just put one step in front of the other.
But there's no hope when you are raised by a mom with a mental health, like she's victimizing herself. She has mental health issues. She's throwing back a medicinal cocktail, so she's just so far gone. Maybe she has an aggressive wine habit at the end of the day, and that's the only person in your life, and you combine what she's got going on with the amount of hate and anger of the dude that left her because of how unbearable she is, and then she is so freaking lost and foggy and cloudy and without good judgment that she's literally using her kid to get back at that guy. It is such a huge. Here's the problem, and this I'm gonna tell you the problem. Here's the problem. It is an addiction to instant gratification, and I have done this myself as well. All you bitch ass men out there who are addicted to just getting it off because you can't hold your ground, you can't wait for what's worth it, and you can't keep it in your pants. Stop having sex with these dumbass hoes and empowering them and giving them an entitlement to be able to ruin your life or some other life that happens because you two got together.
Well, yeah, but then also leaving.
And then leaving because you can't stand that bitch.
Right.
If you can't stand her, don't get her drunk and have sex with her. What are you doing? Don't introduce her to a new drug or a new pill and then have sex with her because you're such a simp and you can't go earn some sex. Beta bitch.
So I want to touch on two things.
Golly. That's the reason our society is screwed right now. Beta bitch ass dudes who can't say no to a chick, so then they have a kid. Maybe if she doesn't abort it because they're not ready yet or whatever. Oops. Stop being a beta bitch. Well, be patient.
Here's what's funny is.
Sorry, that's goodness.
So I saw at the soccer fields last night. I saw a little girl that was spinning around on this little stop sign. Her mom was watching her like little brother play soccer, and the little girl spinning around, and she falls over on top of rocks. It was crazy. No tear at all. No tear. And then 2 minutes later, she's running, kicking a soccer ball, trips, her shoes fall off, but doesn't fall down. And she starts losing it because mom goes, "Oh my God, are you okay?" It's the mirroring effect that you get when you're a young kid and you copy that. 100%. Right? So we can expand on that to okay, single mom, working hard, mad at the fucking world, victimized her entire life. Whether or not she was like one night stand, left alone, and now it's like, woe is me. This kid could have the best life. I mean, this little girl is living out in Bernie, could have the best life. But she grows up seeing her mom, this victim mentality. This little girl is not a victim. Is not by any means, other than the fact that she's growing up without a father. It's not a victim.
Which is a big deal.
It is, of course.
That's a huge deal because a father protects.
Right. I'm not saying that
and
at
a mother
all.
more often than not will naturally enable.
Right.
Yeah. It is her job to nurture, enable, keep that baby safe. But if that's all you have and you have no sort of, protection outside of that to like, hey, okay, go touch that fire, idiot.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fine. I got you. I got some aloe vera, whatever. You got your back. But,
what I'm saying
you're my
is,
little idiot, right? I love you, but we're learn today.
What I'm saying is
You're gonna learn today.
that this little girl is going to grow up watching the victimhood that her mom is going through and become a victim herself, and every facet of her life from there on out will be given to her kids, to her friends, and she will add to the value that as society as a victim. And I think that we have exploded in that. We have, and now. Because
50% of America is divorced.
Right.
Well, and
that beats half the country.
But this wasn't ever a problem before because they didn't have like social media. It wasn't as rampant. It wasn't as televised. And nowadays,
that is a manufactured narcissism. Yeah. It is so masterfully created. You were literally able to like test your ego out, and
then you get the gratification from the likes.
Yes.
the,
But it's
the
all- and then
and then
comments,
you
and it's-
internalize it,
right.
and then you take that into the real world. We're literally walking amongst like what's that zombie movie?
Zombieland?
No, with Brad Pitt.
World War Z.
World
Yeah.
War Z. So we are. This is World War Z.
That's terrifying, by the way. If
Except
World War Z ever
this-
happens, that sucks.
They
We're
are
fucked.
fast.
Yeah, we're fucked.
No, we're living in it. But except this, the zombies are psychopaths.
Yeah, 100%.
There are, dude, full blown. We are at a world high of psychopaths.
Well,
So
I'm going to touch on it,
Yeah.
but I'm going to touch on it slightly, and I think that's why we have so many school outings.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like those sort of issues is because we're living in such a day and age where all of this victimhood is televised, and we're like, yeah, you know what? That's me too. Yeah, you know what? That's me too. Yeah, fuck my bully. Before it was just like, you know what? Punch your bully in the face.
Hell yeah.
Well, you know
You
what's
know what I mean?
yeah.
And then they'll stop, and then they did. They did stop.
Yep.
You know, but what
I guess they stop if you shoot.
Yeah.
well, that's
I was gonna say, you know what's really weird though is like
Oh God, that hurt me.
you have like I go through this every day. It's like, and I kind of just bypass it, but it's a mentality of like you're scared or hesitant to even post anything
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
anything and everything that you say will create or trigger somebody that it feels that victimhood.
Dude,
mentality.
I thought it was so weird because when Charlie happened, I was like, dude, I don't even know. I'm just gonna post a little something, and I didn't post anything crazy. Just short, sweet, simple video. One of the videos that I really felt like depicted who he was as a public figure. And when I'm typing my short statement, my short caption on Facebook, I remember thinking to myself, I was like, I just have this, and it was really early on. Like it was before we even could, know that people were going to start celebrating it. I was like, I just have this feeling that there's going to be people out there who are going to make this weird, who are going to have some negative stuff to say.
I felt that when we had the podcast on it. I was like, somebody's gonna. It's not.
Yeah, there's
we're not
always-
itching that for someone.
There's
and
like this, like, what
someone's gonna be pissed.
and there's a new term that came out that I had no idea about until Charlie happened, the whataboutisms. Have y'all heard about
Holy
that?
fucking 6'7".
That was crazy. Like, well, what about the kids that
Holy shit.
dude, my reaction's so slow on that one.
what about the kids that got shot at the school here? What about 9/11? What about blah, 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 blah? Like, I get that. I feel awful for all of the sin that happens in this world. But I can really only genuinely react to things that
connect with.
affect me and I connect with.
Right.
I can't connect with everything. I'm not God. I'm sorry. But I spent hours, if not days, if not weeks, learning from Charlie, listening to how he talked, listening to how he gave people a platform to express themselves. He gave liberal retards a platform. I'm sorry, I know that, dude, the people that I'm not Charlie, I'm not Jesus. I'm gonna tell you straight up, he gave liberal retards more of a platform to speak than their own political idols did. I don't know a single Democrat person that goes out and talks and gives people someone a platform to actually, have some sort of civil discourse.
You know, it's wild that like you bring that up, and like I don't want to throw Fox News out there and like all these far right or rightist ideological like sources, but what's wild is like early on, like maybe 2016 17, I started seeing a trend with like Fox and Newsmax and ON, and like when they started coming out, like they were using a lot of these right ideology influencers to bring on to air because they knew that they aligned with what they would say. Not once have I ever seen CNN or MSNBC or CNBC bring somebody on that has the same ideology as them and giving them a
won't.
platform.
They
Well,
won't.
they won't
That's
because
why you see, like in The View, whenever who was on it? It was Arnold Schwarzenegger was on The View, and he was like, no, man, I believe in
during
the
COVID?
fucking American dream. Like this is.
Was
like,
that during COVID?
I think it was recently.
Was it recently?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
And
remember,
he was like, no, I believe in the America's done this for me, and you could see the one girl like next, like, okay, you don't have to. They try to suppress it, and
For
it's
sure.
just like, bro.
but that's
I
exactly
believe, I think I'm turning like, was it libertarian?
libertarian.
I think I'm turning into a libertarian. I saw somebody
My dad
like
raised
make
me
an
libertarian,
make an
so,
excuse for like
they're
can we
infiltrated
just live
as
our
well,
own
dude. They
fucking
got-
lives
yeah.
and just like not worry about everybody else so
Well, and I'll throw-
fucking much.
Libertarians got infiltrated as well, so there's no safe. Just be Christian, dude. Just read
just
the
live
I
through
Bible.
the word
don't.
of
That's
faith.
why
That's
I'm
it.
like,
You know,
Well,
just
and
screw
I'll
all
throw
this
this
political
out, too,
identity
is-
stuff. Let's run for office. Can we get a donor to put us in office? I will quit my job.
Gary for president.
Immediately. It doesn't have to be president.
David for
straight,
VP.
Straight up, legitimately. Like, if there's somebody out there who sees this, can you make a clip of this?
I'll run the security defense department
I will
with,
legitimately
Charles.
run for any office you're willing to pay for. If you're a donor out there and you are freaking loaded, I will run for something, and you will be my only donor.
What's
all right?
wild with the whole situation that's been unfolding,
But I
over
ain't
the-
gonna do everything you say.
over the last-
we on the
No,
APEC cook shit. You know what I'm saying?
over the last few weeks is, and I told my wife this. I said, you know what? If the conservatives and Republicans wanted to lose the majority in the next election, they're doing it very well right
for
now.
sure.
Right?
Because
Like,
you know why? You know why? Hey, here's my conspiracy theory.
go for it.
It's conspiracy time.
conspiracy time.
We're
holy
swinging
shit,
the-
we haven't had a conspiracy in weeks.
And this is factually backed. Okay,
How did we segue here?
This is great timing. This is great timing. So they're setting it up to go the opposite direction, right? Because now it's time for digital ID. Okay, 17 countries have rolled out or passed digital ID laws in the last 3 months. 17 countries. You all want to know the list? Y'all ready?
Go for it.
This ain't no random Zimbabwe shit. Okay, we're talking.
Can you do me a favor and explain to me what digital ID is first?
It's
Yeah.
implemented in stages, though, too. So
It's
just-
implemented in stages. So
Okay.
digital ID is essentially tying your biometric. The ultimate goal
Sure.
is tying your biometrics to a essentially IP address on maybe, let's say, a blockchain, so that you can have your own social credit score based on the things you say, the things you pay,
Right.
and the things
Very
you
Black
do.
Mirror.
Very
Yeah,
1000%
yeah.
Black Mirror. So
Right.
basically every single Revelations type prophetic show that you've ever
Sure.
watched,
Sure.
that.
Because when I think of digital ID, I have been flying a lot lately, especially with Delta, and it has digital ID on it, and it's fucking awesome because
Yeah,
you
it's-
walk up and you're like, it shows your picture. I have TSA pre-check and digital ID. I walk up, don't take my shoes off, my belt off. It scans my thing. They don't need my boarding pass. They don't need my passport. They don't need anything.
Well,
I'm in. And I'm like,
don't-
that's awesome, bro.
Yeah, it is awesome. Don't get used to traveling though. Because beyond in this podcast, they're gonna flag your ass here in about 2 years.
shit.
Yeah, bro, you won't even be able to start your car, right? So it's that like inability to be able to buy or
Sure.
sell
Sure.
unless your social credit score checks out.
Sure.
So there's 17 countries that have all rolled out or passed this. Okay.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
When you say social credit score, because there was a Black Mirror episode. Did you watch Black Mirror yet?
Not all of it.
Son of a bit.
Get to your point, because I want to say these
There's
17
okay,
countries.
so there was a social aspect
Yes.
of one of the Black Mirror episodes where it was like likes or like it was like almost like tipping culture.
Yeah.
And so this guy rubs you the right way. I'm gonna like him, and then he's in this like 90th percentile.
So China's already doing it. China has been doing it since around. I
So
think
no one will
short-
associate with you if
Right.
you've got a shitty score.
If you've got a shitty social credit score,
Yeah.
they literally in China right now as we speak, they put your name on like a Times Square type billboard situation, and they show you and your name and where you're from.
No way.
Yeah, it's happening now.
Do we have sources on this?
It's happening now. There's video of it actually happening, and the people are actually co-signing it. Like the people are actually okay with it because they're like, well, if you don't pay your debts,
Yeah.
if you don't say what the government allows you to say, if you don't live the way, so like for example, if they were to say, if you're a Christian, if you homeschool, if you XYZ,
Yeah.
these are strikes against your social credit score.
Right.
This is how many
What's
points
the
you lose for
benefit
that.
for?
Peace and safety. Peace and security.
But the problem with that, too, is like,
It's like Minority Report.
But no, and I was actually sorry to interrupt, but I was just about to say that there is actually something. I think it's by Palantir where they're unveiling something that is a crime predictor.
Like Minority Report.
It's
Right.
already happening.
Yeah, yeah.
What the
So
fuck?
you think we were socially conditioned by a movie like Minority Report to be like, oh, that would be awesome.
It's
actually,
called
to be able to-
predictive programming, and it's a part of a CIA operation that has been brought apart by Project Monarch, Operation MK Ultra.
What are the numbers, Mason? Sorry.
It's fine. So the 17 before you go, 17 countries that are doing this now: the EU, the UK, Laos, China, Taiwan, Mexico, Zambia, Canada, Ethiopia, Thailand, Vietnam, Australia, Costa Rica, Switzerland, and Papua New Guinea.
Mexico is trying to. The new Mexican president is trying to pass a law saying that you can be jailed for making memes or making fun of any political figures or the president of Mexico. You'll be fined up to, I want to say, $20,000 in U.S. dollars.
Or 3 years in prison.
Or 3 years in prison if you make a meme.
Somebody just went to jail in the EU just over a meme.
Well, and I sent you a
Did I
clip.
talk about the dog, the guy that taught his dog how to do the...
Yeah. Oh, you
And he
did.
went to jail for it?
Yeah. Well, I sent Gary a
Crazy,
video
bro.
like a day or two ago about this too, about the guy that stood up and asked the question about Izzy, and literally they showed him getting arrested for asking the question like after the event.
Yeah. That was in actual political arena too.
It's very surprising that a lot of NATO would sign on for that.
Yeah, of course.
But what I was going to say a moment ago too is like, you remember I forget what Fast and Furious it was. I think it was 7 or 8.
25.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
one
just
of
same
them.
thing.
It was one of the Fast and Furious. What they it's about God's eye. I don't know if you remember that one or not, but they're talking about God's eye and it having access to everything. Like going to your social score system, right? Could that already be something that's in play?
So
right?
like,
so they
it's
know
gonna be
every
like
corner,
yeah,
everything that you're on.
It's going to be like video games, right? Like in video games, when you're about to start playing like a ranked match in like Rematch or Apex or something
Oh,
like
like
that.
a hidden MMR.
There's placement matches based on how you do before the ranking actually starts. What's happening right now is placement matching.
100%.
Everything that we're doing is being tracked, and then when the system unveils itself, that's my conspiracy theory, we will be placed in tiers. That's a good pun. More ways than one. More ways than one.
That's a good pun.
So speaking of indoctrination, I saw this really, really cool. It's a post by Ready Set Parent on IG. Ready Set Parent. We talked a little bit about like Scholastic. What was it? Maxwell,
McGraw, yeah.
McGraw, and all that. So what they said is that homework in elementary school has near zero impact on grades. Yet kids spend over 100 hours a year doing it. Here's the number one thing that actually predicts academic achievement and lifelong success, and it's not found in a backpack. Night after night, families battle over homework, tears, tantrums, late night exhaustion. We worry if missing an assignment means missing progress. But in elementary school, the pile of papers doesn't raise achievement. It mostly raises stress. Duke researcher Harris Cooper reviewed decades of data and found something striking. Homework assigned in elementary school had almost no effect on children's test scores. Worksheets feel like progress, but they're busy work dressed as learning. Why? Because young kids don't learn best from repetition. They learn from play, exploration, and conversation. Homework steals time from the very thing that wires the brain for creativity and problem solving. The costs are real. A Stanford study found 56% of students said homework was their number one source of stress. Instead of building grit, it built anxiety. Instead of teaching responsibility, it taught kids to see learning as a burden. Here's the paradox. Countries with less homework often outperform those with more. Finland gives minimal elementary homework, yet their kids rank among the highest in global education. What predicts academic success more than extra worksheets? Dinner. Columbia University found teens who shared family meals 5+ nights a week had better grades, higher self-esteem, and less substance abuse. That's a big one. Kids don't just eat at the table, they grow there. Dinner is more than just food. It's vocabulary disguised as conversation, emotional regulation hidden in family stories, confidence tucked into laughter. Every meal is a quiet lesson. Belonging makes brains grow. Different ages have different needs. Homework isn't inherently bad, but in the early years, its value is often overstated. Family rituals, unstructured play, and reading for joy grows the skills homework can't touch and build a sharper academic edge than workbooks ever could. Almost done. So when your child's backpack feels lighter, don't panic. Less homework doesn't mean less learning. It means more room for the kind learning that lasts. Instead of forcing another worksheet, try reading stories that take them somewhere new. Talking at dinner like it's family fuel. Protecting play as their brain's secret classroom. Guarding sleep as their nightly reset button. What looks routine today is what makes kids unstoppable tomorrow. Society says more homework equals smarter kids. Neuroscience says the opposite. Smarts don't grow in silence over math drills. They grow in late night stories, messy games, and unhurried dinners. One path measures compliance, the other wires resilience. And lastly, achievement doesn't start with assignments, it starts with connection. The strongest predictor of success isn't what happens at a desk, it's what happens at home. Thanks for the research, Ready, Set, Parent. It's amazing stuff right there.
That is pretty awesome. And I could actually personally connect with a lot of that stuff. You know, one of the things that, you know, I everybody around me, you know, there are some haters around me. There are a lot of haters, not here at the table, but haters in general, that are like, hey, you put on, like, you were never godly, this. I was like, I've always been spiritual. Whether or not I portray that and cast that into public realm is a different story, right? Like, I can still pray behind closed doors, things like that. But one of the things that recently, you know, I've been doing is, like, trying to disconnect from things. And this is why we got rid of Netflix. Was one of the biggest things was, like, you know, we mindlessly as parents lose consciousness because of these devices. And when I say that, I don't mean physically. I mean, like, literally, we lose because we are not paying attention to our kids around us because we're so consumed about who's posting what and watching this or watching that and trying to figure what's going to happen next. So true. That we get disconnected from our youth. We get disconnected from our children. And what happened in my own personal life is we were sitting there and I was disconnected. And this happened several months ago. And I was like, just something like clicked, right? I had literally prayed that morning and I was like, you know, God, help me find, you know, my peace, help me find the ability to, like, overcome this digital addiction, right? Because let's call it what it is. It's an addiction, right? You have to have your phone in your hand. You have to check it every 10 seconds. You've got to know who's posted the latest updates. And what happened to me was actually really spiritual because that morning I had prayed. That evening, like, we got home, I caught myself still doing the same thing, but something clicked and I heard something from a distance out of my ear, like in my ear, because I was in the kitchen reading. And it was something on Netflix, and it was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And that was, like, my real big awakening to what was happening with Netflix and how dark it was getting because my son was sitting over there watching TV while I'm, like, mindlessly over there trying to make dinner and read what's being updated.
You're just trying to get him distracted so he doesn't jump off a counter.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know.
Swanton bomb.
And I caught that, and it's been like a very rude awakening.
It's a real thing. When you have kids, you'll know.
Because we pulled off of Netflix and we went to Angel Studios. And if you are not a parent on Angel right now, you need to go subscribe.
Angel's legit.
We are not partners yet with Angel. Angel, if you hear this, shout out to us.
Love Angel.
But I turned him on to the miniseries for, like, young David. He started watching like the Tuttles, who talk and teach, like, Constitution. Like, basically they time travel with their grandmother and they go back in time.
It's actually kind of an entertaining show.
It's very entertaining.
I think I like it more than Bluey, honestly.
100%. But it wasn't until, like, I heard that and actually prayed about it that I started realizing that, like, if I continue down this path, my son might not have that connection with me. And since then, we've been praying. We've been going to church every Sunday. He loves to go to Sunday school. Like, he actually asks, is it Sunday yet? Because I want to go to Sunday school. Like, it's very heartwarming, but it's brought us closer together as a family. Like, we're starting to do things more and more. And I pray that more people out there and more men, like you're talking about beta men, actually take control of their lives
Hey everyone, Ernest here from the Truth Disorder podcast. Our website is built with lovable.dev, and honestly, we couldn't be any happier. It's simple, it's fast, and anytime we need to make a change, it just takes a few seconds. There's no complicated setup, no headaches. So if you're looking to get your business online, your podcast, or even your brand, check out lovable.dev. You'll love how simple it makes building your site. Scan the QR down below to get started.
I'll let you down.
We're all sinful.
I'm very disappointing.
We're all sinful sinners. But no, like it wasn't until I actually had that the connection with Jesus and God and had that spiritual awakening, like that I found myself more connected with my son. I roughhouse with him more. And even my wife pointed this out the other day. She's like, you know what? Now that you've actually been like playing tag and chasing him, like I'm trying to gain control of my health. So I go on a 3-mile run every day so that way I can keep up with a 5-year-old, right? Like it's freaking a handful. But
oh, dude, I got crazy fun fact.
It's like one of those things where when you do it, you notice these things. But my wife was like, you know what? Now that you've been roughhousing with him, he's actually been getting better grades in school.
Yeah.
He's been listening better in school. His teachers are now emailing us going, wow, this like your son's done a complete 180.
Yeah.
Like he is.
There's something about being thrown around like a rag doll, realizing you ain't the god of the house.
Well, not only that, but like playing tag, duck, duck, goose, doing everything like a 5-year-old wants to do instead of being like, do your homework, so that I can continue to see what everybody's posting or I can go and try and make more money. Money is the root of all evil. So
the love of money.
The love. Well,
it's okay to have fortune and nice things and to be blessed by God as long as we're stewards of it.
I'm steward.
But the love of money is the root of all evil.
The love of money.
The idolization.
But I would argue that the idolization attracts you to want more and more, right? Like wanting to do 100 transactions a deal is not just a goal. It's because there's a monetary structure behind it. Now, if you said you want to do 100 deals and maybe only make X amount of money, like then or if you're going to do it.
Yeah, then those conversations turn into, hey, can you put me on this deal so that I get credit for it? I'll pay you back. Anyways, so you were talking about running, and it reminded me. So my wife sent me a post last night on Instagram. I have low T, okay, and I refuse to take the testosterone shot that the VA is trying to get me to take. A shot in the butt once or twice a week. But I will have to be on it the rest of my life if I do go that route. So I've been trying things like Nugenics Shilajit, Shilajit, which raised me up from like 160, which is really low, to about like 320-ish. Decent, right? But I keep teetering between like 250 and 300, which is low for a man, especially my age. It's a pandemic, honestly, of low T across the country. It's like they put something in the water or something, or the food.
Oh,
but
you
who knows?
mean
All that to say, my wife sent me a post last night.
Running.
Guess what?
Running.
I'm about to put infrared red light on my balls.
Oh my God.
That's been a study.
Bro, I love that Dom was like, matter of fact, actually, hold on.
Dom's like, hold up. Let me take
Trust
that
me,
mic.
I did the research.
Have you heard about sunlight on your?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I went that direction because I have 4 acres, brother. I thought of going out back and whipping it out and just laying, taking advantage. Like if you got low T and 4 acres, if you ain't using that to sunlight your ball sack, are you really using all 4 acres to the best of your advantage?
This took a change.
So
Okay.
yeah, I just had to go that direction because we're talking health, we're talking spiritual health, and we take a funny angle at whatever we're talking about. And today we're going to talk about the angle of the dangle, and my dangle is got some low T. You know what I'm saying? So she sent me this link. Apparently, you can raise your testosterone by exposing yourself to. Do it in a room. Okay, don't.
Don't be Gary and go out on your back patio.
Don't get real fucking weird is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so
I'm from Boston.
But this guy on mental, she sends it to me. I was like, oh, dude, I gotta cross check this source, right? So I Google it, look it up. There's actually an article in Men's Health, and the guy raised his testosterone by 200% by standing in front of an infrared light with his stuff whipped out for about 5 to 15 minutes a day. He said he was feeling better or different within a week of doing it. So Not sure if this is TMI, but I bought a little infrared red flashlight because because once you go that direction, my wife's like, well, because we have the red light therapy, right? And she's like, well, why don't you just go in the room and do? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna sit on my bed naked with my legs open with a red light facing, right? You know,
That's your
like
pain.
that is
Yeah.
a nightmare situation. That's like if American Pie had another movie. Imagine, just someone walking in with my red lap bowels are just going down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to. I feel like this is a lot for you right now, and you're having a hard time taking
I
it.
think he's getting a
I'm good.
visualization of
Right,
you like
okay.
on your patio with your wife holding your legs like above your head, so that you're.
I want to know the commercial.
So, huh?
I said, I imagine the commercial. Hey, Gary here. Red light therapy.
You got low T.
It's like a fucking 1990 infomercial at fucking 2:00 in the morning. Do you have low T? And it's just a fucking spotlight on the
Look
dick.
directly. Say that again.
Do you have low T? Red light therapy.
That's like one of
I want somebody to hold my legs while I'm sitting in this chair.
I was just imagining,
just like in
like-
between.
I was just imagining in my house because I just like the only good sunlight's my my sliding glass door. Just
Dude,
David's neighbors would be calling the
Dude,
cops.
the article was interesting. I'm reading they're giving warnings like, hey, if
So
you
I
do decide
pulled-
to do this, you
I
don't
pulled
want
this
to
up.
sunburn your D off.
I pulled this up.
That's the thing.
In 2021, studies showed that skin exposure to UVB light can stimulate a skin-brain gonad axis, increasing testosterone in men.
Mm-hmm.
The old 1939 experiments often cited claim that the exposure of the testes to UV or light resulted in large increases in testosterone metabolites in urine. But those experiments were primitive, and their methodology is questionable. Some promoters of red light near IR light therapy
What's questionable about it if it works?
claim benefits to testicular health, sperm motility, or testosterone production. It just says there is no robust, definitive clinical
Yeah, because
evidence.
they want us
Who
to.
gives a
yeah,
rat's
thank you.
butt about
Because they want us
clinical?
to be beta bitches getting crazy bitches pregnant. Okay? So they can have more beta bitch kids. That was aggressive, but it still proves true. Okay, I'm sorry. Hard truth disorder.
I wonder if
Verified truth.
I wonder if you could just get a tan. It's like a good tan in. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm doing
Just
the red
like-
light thing. I bought two sources of red light.
Okay.
One of them, it looks like one of those heat pads, right? It's like yay
Does
big.
it have a massager?
No.
No?
I know, right? No, we're right. Like it's supposed to like wrap around an elbow or a wrist or
I'm
a
just
knee.
trying to think to myself because there's like the red light masks, and I'm like, is this
Oh, with
just
the
a
little
missed
patches?
opportunity to just for like
So the comments on
like a
that.
fleshlight, but with like
Red light.
red light.
Yeah.
Oh, red light fleshlight. Oh shit, dude! I call dibs.
Instead of the jujitsu, guards, right? Just red light it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You mean like the boxing ones?
No.
Like the little belts? Yeah, like a cup.
For
Yeah.
jujitsu. Just red light it.
Yeah.
Gary's
The opportunities are endless. So the comments of this post she sent me were amazing, naturally.
Great
Yeah.
reviews.
Great. Yeah. So obviously
This is the craziest fucking episode. We've gone from okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
dude,
go ahead.
it's all about segues.
We went
Sure,
from
sure,
educational indoctrination
So-
all the way to UV light on your balls.
When we actually start making money out of this, they're gonna be like,
testicular.
well, how did you guys get so? How'd you guys do that? And be like, well, we mastered the segue.
Yeah, that's
Right?
true.
And I'm gonna be on a segue when I'm doing my thing.
With a red light, just
Yeah,
kind
like
of
one-
under your,
with a
Did
red
you-
light
balls.
coming out. Like,
Do you remember growing up as a kid? They had those
haven't grown up.
This was kind of like an infomercial, like David was mentioning a minute ago, but it was on like late night comedy. But there was like struggling with ED or erectile dysfunction.
Hey, Gary here.
Gary. Hey, it's me. It's me. Gary.
It's me
Do
again.
you struggle with low testosterone? Well, get the fleshlight, you red light.
I was waiting for you to lift that leg.
Bro, my jeans would probably tear.
You ain't got stretch jeans yet, my boy?
Nah, my boy.
Dude, stretch jeans are the truth.
So why did that segue? I thought running. You're like,
Yeah, running, because he was
okay.
talking about running, and
sure,
I've
sure.
been thinking about low T.
Gotcha.
Hey, funny thing. So I had here on my show notes. I wanted to talk about scriptures. We were just talking about the love of money a minute ago, right? I don't want to get us too sidetracked, but 2 Timothy 3:1-5. In the last days, people will be lovers of self and money. That's like the perfect verse to wrap up everything that we literally just said. We talked about victimhood, right? We talked about how people always have this victim mentality and everything that you talk about. It's because they are lovers of themselves.
Idolization of self and money.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's how random that literally, I did not type anything in. It is on the show notes.
My thing is, how can we just step away from victimhood? Can we just stop it? I don't know if it's because I grew up with 2 in my family, and then Dad beat the hell out of me, and he left. Bro, fucking.
I would.
Wait, I love
Bro, no way! Don't just laugh at that. Bro. Okay, everyone, focus out real quick. Okay.
I laughed because it was relatable.
Dom's like, yo, me too. Me too.
Dude, it wasn't the
Alright.
first time I've heard this, so I'm sitting here seriously, okay, it's about to be
All right,
serious.
everyone,
okay.
focus out. Okay.
Okay, fuck.
So.
Sad
Okay,
face.
take 2. Okay, here we go. Is it because my dad beat the hell out of me and slapped me in the?
So sorry, David. Crying.
All right.
Is
Take
it
3.
relatable because my dad beat the hell out of me and kissed me on the lips and? Okay. All right.
That's where I draw the line. All right.
Are you just described Tom Brady?
Oh god.
But okay, I don't know how I can take it seriously now. Fuck's sake, dude. There's a running joke though between a lot of my Discord friends that I'll just drop it out of nowhere and just be like, yeah, it reminds me of when my dad beat the fuck out of me, and they just lose their shit. Anyways, do we just blame? We can blame us all being victims. Yeah, it sucked that he beat the shit out of me, but when am I gonna just keep making that an excuse, right? When are we gonna stop doing? Okay, god damn it, bro.
I'm laughing because I hear Tony over here.
So are you? Is it his fault or not that you're a little bitch?
Probably my mom's.
Okay.
So your mom didn't roughhouse with you.
Hey. No, but it's true. We're we live. I was gonna touch on it more about the victim mentality because the one we see a lot in our industry is I'll never own a house. That's what I see. I hear it. I see it all the time on Instagram, Facebook, fucking TikTok, Twitter, all that shit. It's I'll never own a house. But then you have a $1,200 fucking truck payment.
Yeah.
And it's you are
I feel attacked.
you are okay with doing this, and then you're calling yourself a victim because you're never going to own a house.
Yeah.
Well, whose fault is that? Your dad's because he beat the fuck out of you? Close. Okay.
I like how he starts laughing as
But no, it's your own fault. When are we going to start taking responsibility for our own actions?
Yeah.
I don't think any of us are
anybody
doing
wants
that.
to. Yeah.
No.
I mean, even if you proclaim that you are taking there are still things in your life that you don't take responsibility for.
A lot of, and it's funny because I don't know why, but I get a lot of police videos on my TikTok, and it's always the person screaming, fighting with the police is always doing something wrong, and then they're turning themselves into the victim. And it's seriously, you just slapped the cop, and you're the victim. You know what I mean? So it's we need to start taking more responsibility for ourselves, and I think this world will benefit way more from it.
I mean, and I think we are probably never going to get there.
No,
because
no.
the more indoctrinated people get and the more brainwashed people become due to entertainment, phones, technology, resources, I honestly feel like the downfall with AI is going to be that it's literally going to tell, and it's already doing this, but it's going to tell people what they want to hear.
Right, yeah. People want that so badly, is
Like-
to just hear what they want to hear. And that's it.
Before it was like, oh, I just Googled all my symptoms. Like I'm feeling a little retarded today because I feel like, people are picking on me and accusing me of things that I'm not doing. And I have a feeling and a funny hunch that AI is going to be like, well, are you doing those things? Like,
If you
it's
would've-
okay. You did nothing wrong.
Well, David, if you would have said what your dad wanted to hear, he probably wouldn't have beat you.
That's probably true.
It's your fault.
No, I agree. He overheard me talking to my mom on the phone about how he was cheating on her.
Oh,
And then and
we are
he
dumping.
just slapped the fuck out of me.
Oh,
Never came back.
this is from a movie.
So I wrote a song about it.
Didn't really happen in David's
Can
life.
we hear it?
Definitely did happen.
Oh my gosh.
But my thing is like that didn't fucking make me a victim. I don't harp on that every day. Who cares? Like grow the fuck up. Yeah, your life sucks. Everybody's life sucks at some point.
I know
It
that's
does.
right.
It really fucking does. Some people take the easy way out. Some people grow up. Grow up.
There's
Have a beautiful family. Move on. Live your life the way you want to live it. It is what it is.
Don't make
Turn to
somebody
God.
else.
Turn to whatever you want to do. But live your fucking life and stop being the victim that society is telling you are.
Well, and I think too many people.
Sorry, that got way real. That got, especially the slapping thing. I'm sorry.
I think.
If I was your dad, I would have slapped you.
Too many people.
I would have ended that shit quick. As soon as you said telephone, I would slap shit out of you. I don't know where this is going.
You're gonna become a
start
man.
talking shit again.
You're gonna be a
Shut his
man
ass
today.
up.
But my mind instantly kind of goes to the whole idea of like,
Hey, do you laugh this much on any other podcast you produce for? Yeah, you seem to have a good time. You seem to have a good time.
Related and it's all boring, but no,
but you remember the saying back in the day was like the you do you boo, right? Like that's what everybody always used to say. I think too many people have taken that literally to heart, and everybody is just so I hate to say it, but everybody's so self-centered in some sort of way that the littlest thing that you say or do, they feel like you're targeting them.
Maybe that's why the social score thing is going to work out so well for every country, is because people are like, yeah, I need that instant gratification. I need to be the best. I need that in my life because I don't have anything else.
Exactly. It's identity. It's an idolization of self.
So Proverbs 22:7.
I look at my fantasy team. Oh, sorry, we're about to get serious.
You just cut Jesus
Sorry,
off, dude.
no, I know.
You
But
can't-
while we're on the topic,
Holy
while we're on,
fuck.
sorry, while we're on the
hold
topic,
on, Pastor.
so-
let me just
let me just remind
tell you
some
about my
people,
fantasy
in,
league.
in 2023, I won 4 out of 5 fantasy football leagues. And let me tell you, I would pull up that roster and I'd be like, damn, I'm good. It's gonna be the same thing, but with social credit scores. That's going to be even more validating than even fantasy. It would be fantasy football score times a million. Because imagine on the surface, you're a great citizen.
Yeah.
Right. And you just like, damn, I'm good. Let me raise this up a little bit.
Ooh,
This
dude, what
tier.
about relationships, like with your parents, or you don't want to associate yourself with somebody with a bad social credit
Nope.
score?
That's exactly.
And if you do, that's going to bring
this
you down.
person doesn't wear a mask.
My mind just got blown.
Points down.
You remember like when politics became huge, like, I mean, they've always been big, but like they've become more relevant to people in today's day and age where, I remember this being on the news, them reporting about actual couples having to ask each other about like their perspectives on things because it was a high rate of divorce during COVID due to separation of political views. Like now we're going to have a separation of social credit scores. Like what? Like I'm going to have to
I
ask.
mean, in some sense, it's already happened.
Well, I mean,
in
yeah,
some sense,
but-
because it's like,
Gary,
I
are
can't believe
gonna-
you said that
what's your
on a
score?
podcast, and it's like, well,
Yeah, we got to take advantage of it while it's happening, or like while we can do it, right? Like,
Right.
like I feel like the United States, right, the way it's been built is to withstand a global tyrant. At least that's how it was. Now, it's just Texas. Texas is literally like, okay, for lack of a better comparison, the Alamo of the entire world.
I could see that.
Texas is the Alamo, and the rest of the world is Mexico
But I would argue
in the 1800s. No offense. I almost went really offensive. But yeah. It's okay.
You know what's
It's
offensive?
okay. I'm half brown. I can say beaner, but
Wait,
I'm not going to.
Hold on. You know what's offensive? So I went into Academy earlier. So we're going to the U.S. men's national game against Ecuador on Friday night up in Q2, and I'm like, I'm gonna go into Academy and find me a nice shirt that has U.S. and it's patriotic, and I found a really nice Magellan. Do you know what flag it had on it?
Mexico?
Mexico.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's believable because of where we are. I don't want to say where we are, but at the same time, when you have absolutely no merch for the country that you live in, it's kind of shameful.
It's a little
Academy,
stupid.
like.
Oh yeah, call them out. Academy Sports
Dude,
and Outdoors.
you know, honestly, it's crazy. I saw 3 dudes singing the national anthem at a Texas, or I don't know if it was a Texas football game, but it was at a football game. It was like a high school thing, and you had goosebumps. It was like Boyz II Men singing the fucking national anthem, and it was so good. Not just like a musical quality, but their talent in doing it. But it was also the national anthem, and it was like, damn, feels super patriotic.
Yeah. It's a
God,
beautiful
I
thing.
miss that shit.
Me too.
Isn't that weird?
wait.
It's like I
So
don't care what side of
And now-
political
now-
spectrum
yeah.
you're on.
now
I
we got
really
Bad
don't. I
Bunny
just
coming
miss
in
that
for the
kinda
Super
shit.
Bowl. We got Bad Bunny gonna come in a pink dress and high heels for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, turning that shit off. It's not like the Browns are going to make it, so
Dude, he's fucking losing his mind over there.
that's another thing, dude. Like, I wish if Jimmy and Dee Haslam could see this right now. I've been a lifelong Browns fan my entire life.
Didn't they just get rid of Joe Flacco?
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Like they just, yeah.
Isn't he super old?
He's super old. He's like 40 years old.
Good. That's
yeah,
fine.
he was doing pretty bad.
Yeah.
Flacco reminds me of the replacements.
This is another thing that I just want to say. Jimmy, Mr. Haslam, Mr. and Mrs. Haslam, if you ever see this, I will leave my job and work for free to take the Cleveland Browns out of the gutter. Because whoever you're hiring does not know anything about football. Anything.
Sorry.
I will work for free. 25 hours a day
6'7".
and turn this franchise around. It's not that hard. Get your shit together.
Gary for El Presidente.
So,
In conclusion,
in conclusion,
so I just wanted to end
Proverbs.
fantasy football, or we cut off the scripture of Proverbs 22:7.
All right, lay it on us.
Where it says the borrower is the slave to the lender. And he was just talking about how, we have people who will go and get $1,200 vehicles in place of a home or something that's actually going to build value. It kind of coincides with each other in interpretation, right? Like we all become enslaved to getting lent money, credit cards, vehicles.
Oh, it's all self-image. I think it's like you're living this lifestyle, right? That's like, I need to prove to everybody that I'm awesome. That's why people have like fancy ass cars. I mean, some people, but I mean, like, look at all the people that have like fucking 25 Lamborghinis. It's all, this is my worth. This is what I'm doing.
The
Well, and that's what he
addiction
says
to instant gratification.
Well, and that's what he says in Timothy 2:3. In the last days, people will be lovers of self
Yeah.
and money.
It's this cycle of, gosh, I need to date out of my what is the
Out of my
term?
league.
Out of my league. I need to date out of my league. So I need to pretend like I have all this stuff. You know what's crazy, man? I think Jim Jeffries said it best. Jim Jeffries said, like the double standard of a man
Not
getting
Hakeem Jeffries,
laid.
right?
Jim Jeffries, the comedian. The difference between double standard of a man getting laid and a woman getting laid are such a real thing. Why? Because with what he says is in order for a guy to get laid, he has to, be funny, has some personality, have a fake job, a nice car. Right? He needs all of that to have a chance at getting laid. And that's what somebody of equal tier, at least, right? And below. A girl generally just has to be present. She just has to be there and she can find someone to sleep with her. It's an entire double standard.
So you're saying the man has to work harder in creating a self-image than the woman.
And so they're willing to go into debt. They're willing to sacrifice their own principles, not stand for anything. Let the woman tell him what to do. And then once that woman has everything that she wants from him to do, then she gets bored. Because she don't want no bitch-ass dudes. Ain't going to stand up to her.
I mean, we even have...
It's not in a woman's nature, I don't think.
What are they called in Texas? The torta chasers?
Oh my God. Your brother's a torta chaser? Why'd you point at him?
One of my guys is.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna say which one. It's not Tony though.
There's only one other guy.
Nice.
He's a panza pounder.
You guys ever had a torta? Is it ahogado?
Mm-mm. I like enchiladas.
This is one of the places that we'll go.
Okay.
All right, Gary, wrap us up, Gary. Bring it home.
Yeah, for all you Christians out there and imperfect Christians like us, just want to make y'all aware that Izzy is running the largest foreign propaganda campaign ever targeting U.S. Christians, and this is happening. It was filed with the DOJ under FARA. It is geofencing American churches, and they're paying influencers $7,000 per post and weaponizing faith to shape public opinion. It is filed with the DOJ. A San Diego firm called Show Faith by Works LLC is working directly with the Izzy Ministry of Foreign Affairs to carry out this campaign. And yeah, it just really seems like some powerful people are worried about Christians waking up and starting to become more vocal. So just be on the lookout. Watch what you say. We won't, but you should, because it's about to get real crazy. So yeah, pray for that hedge of protection. Pray for the blood of Jesus to cover yourself, your family, your friends, anybody with you, anybody you know, and just be brave. It's getting crazy. You want to say something?
No.
Thanks for tuning in to Truth Disorder. Next time, we'll have a crazy conspiracy for you.